So when we start, we're going to teleport to Trollheim. Make sure you have an ancient item on you and bring a blowpipe if you do not have an ecumenical key, because it's really easy to get kill count, so it's not a big deal if you don't have a key. The kill count for Nex works a little different than the other bosses at God Wars, because the monsters inside the room, or the followers, or whatever you want to call them, are scaled. So if you kill a spiritual mage, for example, it gives you 5 kill count, so you only have to kill like 8 of them. So that is my primary method of getting into the bank next, because once you're in, you're in. You can then just keep recycling, because there's literally a bank there for some reason. Once you get into God Wars, all you're going to do is run south. It's right to the east of the shortcut for Armadillo, and you just go in there. The first time you come here, there's going to be a short cutscene, and then you're able to enter the room where all the followers are, and you can get kill count. The actual boss room and the bank is to the east, so we will gear there. As far as what followers to kill, you can kill whatever ones you want. Just don't hit the warriors. They have a weird attack where they can hit you through prayer, and it kind of hurts. Everything else, just pray against them and kill them. Once you have the 40 essence, you can go through the door, and there's going to be an NPC in here that is a bank. If you're on Runelight, just shift click and tag them so you can see them when there's a lot of people walking around. And this is where we're going to gear. This is also where you can resupply between trips. So once you get into the room, you'll be able to kill the minions and the boss, and it'll add up to 40 new essence eventually, and you can then tele out of the room, back in front of the door, come through the door, use your 40 essence to get in, and then get access to the bank again, and just keep going. For our gear, I believe the best right now is the Zerite Crossbow with full armor and bofa with full crystal, but then Tbow is a close second. So this is the gear I personally use. The things outlined in blue are going to be optional. I bring the Holy Wrench in the inventory because you sip so many prayer potions and restores, and then I'm on the Arceus spellbook, which when you're learning, it's okay if you don't want to be on a spellbook and just want to bring more supplies. Then the magic longbow, I actually use it as my special weapon. If you have a dark bow, that's better. I use it right on the first spawn because you're guaranteed to hit with it. And then for the helmet slot, a lot of people also like to bring a Slayer helmet when they first start learning, because there's a cough mechanic that the Slayer helm helps kind of prevent. However, as people are learning the boss more and more, people are getting better at cough tanking, is what it's called, where someone takes the cough away from the group and just kind of eats it, and then no one else has to deal with it. But you kind of have to mix and match this gear just to what you have. I realize I normally make beginner videos, and this is kind of top tier gear. So just bring your best range attack bonus. So when you're comparing any gear to something else, like do I want to bring this or this, maximize your range attack bonus. We want to do as much damage as possible and be as accurate as possible. Here's an example of gear I'd bring with a crossbow. Make sure you have ruby bolts enchanted, because you're just praying for a ruby bolt spec to get damage so you get kill count. The only difference other than the items in the blue is I now bring a blowpipe as my spec weapon, because it can be kind of nice to spec the minions just for a little bit of HP back, but it's not really that necessary. It's more of a personal preference thing. As you go, you'll be able to bank, right? So you can kind of take out what you want and try new things and add new things as you go. I'm going to voice over a fight that I recorded. And the things I want you to pay attention to when you're learning is that Nex becomes untargetable when their HP reaches certain thresholds, and when that happens, they will call to one of their minions and say, "Don't fail me now." And when a mass is going on, you're only going to be able to hit the minion like once, maybe twice if you're really early. But when Nex says "Don't fail me now" to the minion, that means that Nex is untargetable and you have to kill the minion before you can then kill Nex again. So in a mass, what I do is I hit the boss once, maybe twice with my spec, then I click on the ground, wait till the minion becomes targetable, hit the minion, and then I start moving clockwise. And it's the same thing over and over. Once you get a couple kills, you'll get more of a feel for when the minions will be targetable and when Nex is untargetable. But when you're learning, I just do one hit, maybe 2 hits on the boss, depending on how many people are there, 1 hit on the minion, and then move towards the next one. Hit the boss once, twice, hit the minion once, keep moving. Once we're ready and the door turns purple, that means we can enter. If it's red, that means the fight is in progress. We're going to go in, we're going to go to the north. Make sure our quick prayer is set to pray mage and whatever your best range offensive prayer is. Go to the north, hang out with the group. Hopefully there's a cough tank, which will be off to the side. So Nex spawns, and she's going to summon her minions. She goes, there's 4 of them. When she says the one that starts with a G, or the 4th one, we're going to summon our thrall. Then when she says, fill me with smoke or whatever, we're going to turn our prayer on into spam clicker. Bring in our 1 hit in, maybe 2. And then we're going to immediately look towards the minion. Make sure you hit the minion. Don't misclick, or you're going to get the cough and spread it, and everyone's going to hit you. Hit it once, maybe twice. Then we're going to start moving east. For this phase, it's the only time you're going to pray range. And so once she says embrace darkness, that's her new phase. Hit her once, maybe twice. And now we're going to hit the minion. Then once I get my XP drop, I'm moving towards south and I'm changing back to Prey Mage. I'm clicking on the boss. And this phase, she summons some blood reavers. So hit them, get a couple XP drops, and then look towards the boss again. Once her HP gets around, I want to say 1300, I'm going to be looking towards the minion to the southeast. And so that I can hit it first. As you saw, that person just specced it and missed because it wasn't targetable yet. Then I'm going to start moving west. This is the only phase where you're in danger of dying, so watch your HP. If you get hit by that, you're dead if you're too close. And then also, she can trap you. So if you get trapped, just eat up because people don't save you in masses. I kill the minion, and now you're just back on the boss. So this one, she just kind of sends out a bunch of stuff. You're not really in danger if you're far away. Just watch your HP and kill her. Once they're dead, run away from everyone because if there's too many people on one tile, some of the loot doesn't spawn. And then also make sure that you're not by the boss when she dies because they have retribution, and it'll kill you. Then you just go back to your starting spot and you run it back. Kill count in masses is really easy to get, and it's a lot more simple than people think it is. The only difficult time comes when you start getting to small teams or if someone spreads the cough. So this is an example of when the cough goes crazy. This boss basically has COVID, and if people don't socially distance, you just spread it to everyone. It drains your highest offensive stat bonus, so for us with our gear, it's going to drain our range stat. It's pretty annoying, but just try and continue fighting the boss and mind your distance. Personal opinion, when you have cough, just stay still and hit the boss and let the cough go away, but everyone is really, really selfish in masses and will just spread it like wildfire. So at that point, you kind of just gotta go with it. Everyone's learning, everyone's just trying to get jobs. Like, it's a video game, it'll be fine. A lot of people get really mad over this, but like, tell them to just deal with it. If they don't want it, they can go hunt for a lower population world, which they won't find on release. Once you're done or want to bank, as long as you have 40 essence, you can just go to the altar, right click it, and teleport out. I always like to try and charge my prayer on the way out just so I don't have to do that in the bank. It'll spawn you outside of the bank, so if you don't have an ancient item, you will get attacked. But as long as you're pretty quick, it's not usually an issue. Just re-enter the bank and repeat. That's all I have for you as far as an intro guide goes. There's obviously more mechanics, but when you're in a mass world, it doesn't really matter. You skip most of them. You learn them as you go. Just try and keep your HP up, try and do as much damage as possible, and try and be nice to people because there's going to be a lot of people in there, and especially a lot of new people in there. This is a really good group boss to learn, actually. And so just, be nice. Good luck.